Welcome to Where Quartz Veins Remember Birdsong, a deeply calm and enchanting sleep story crafted to guide you into a state of peaceful rest. If you find yourself soothed by the whispers of the Whispering Valley and wish for more journeys like this, please gently tap the like button and consider subscribing to our channel for future tranquil tales. Before we step into the valley's quietude, let us take a few moments for a gentle breathing guidance to prepare your mind and body for serene slumber. For those who prefer to journey directly into the valley, chapter timestamps are nestled in the description below, ready for your exploration. Settle yourself into a position of complete comfort. Feel your body becoming heavy and supported by your bed, releasing any effort of holding yourself up. Allow your limbs to rest naturally, noticing the feeling of your blankets against your skin, soft and comforting, like the moss of the Whispering Valley. Let this be a time just for you, to let go of the day and welcome the gentle embrace of night. Let the quiet resonance of the quartz veins begin to soothe your mind and lead you toward tranquil dreams. Now, let us breathe together. Inhale slowly and gently through your nose, as if drawing in the pure, still air of the valley. Hold for a moment, feeling the calm stillness within. Then exhale softly through your mouth, like a quiet sigh of contentment, releasing any lingering tension. With each breath, imagine the gentle mist of the Whispering Valley enveloping you, washing away any worries or unease. Visualize the soft, diffused sunlight filtering through the mist, casting a warm and peaceful glow. Feel the weight of your eyelids softening, your brow smoothing, your jaw relaxing. If your thoughts wander, simply acknowledge them without judgment, like leaves drifting on the valley stream. Gently guide your attention back to your breath or to the sound of my voice. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, except here, in this moment of peace. Allow the resonant quietude of the valley to permeate your being, dissolving any holding onto tension. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath, the steady pulse of calm within. Now let us begin our journey into the heart of the Whispering Valley, where the silent songs of quartz await to lull you into a deeply restful sleep. Chapter 1. The Path to the Whispering Valley. Lira unfurled the worn map, its creases softened with age and countless unfoldings. The parchment, a gentle cream color, felt smooth and yielding beneath her fingertips. The ink faded to a warm sepia, depicted meandering lines representing paths and rivers, and small, stylized mountains clustered together like sleeping giants. Her finger traced the route, a winding path marked towards a place named only as the Whispering Valley. A sense of quiet anticipation settled within her as she folded the map, tucking it safely into her satchel. The morning air was cool and crisp, carrying the invigorating scent of pine needles and damp earth. Sunlight, still soft and diffused, filtered through the branches of the tall pines that lined the initial stretch of the path. Lira began her walk, her footsteps making soft sounds on the needle-strewn trail. The only other sounds were the gentle sighing of the wind through the trees and the occasional rustle of unseen creatures in the undergrowth, each sound blending into a peaceful harmony. As she walked, the path began to gently ascend, leading her away from the more populated lowlands and into the foothills. The air grew quieter, the sounds of the outside world gradually fading behind her. She paused by a small trickling stream, the water crystal clear as it flowed over smooth, rounded stones. The sound was a delicate liquid murmur, instantly soothing to the ears. Lira cupped her hands and drank, the water cool and refreshing, carrying a hint of mineral and the clean taste of the mountains. Further along the path, she encountered an old shepherd tending his flock in a sun-dappled clearing. The sheep grazed peacefully, their bells tinkling softly in the still air, a sound as gentle as wind chimes. The shepherd, his face weathered and kind, greeted her with a warm smile. He offered her a wooden bowl of fresh goat's milk, still warm and creamy, the scent rich and wholesome. Sitting on a fallen log, Lira gratefully accepted the milk. The shepherd spoke in a low, gentle voice about the Whispering Valley, describing it as a place of profound peace, a sanctuary untouched by the world's troubles. He recounted tales of the valley's quiet magic, its ability to soothe troubled minds and mend weary spirits. His words were spoken with reverence and a deep, unwavering belief. As Lira finished the milk, a feeling of warmth spread through her, both from the drink and the shepherd's kind words. He pointed her towards a less defined trail leading further upwards, indicating the hidden entrance to the valley lay just beyond the next ridge. He wished her a peaceful journey, his voice like a soft blessing. Resuming her walk, Lira followed the shepherd's directions. The path narrowed, becoming less distinct, but still easily discernible. The trees around her grew denser, their branches interwoven overhead, creating a canopy that filtered the sunlight into soft, dappled patterns on the forest floor. The air grew cooler, carrying a hint of moisture and the rich, earthy scent of moss and damp wood. A gentle mist began to gather in the air, softening the edges of the landscape and lending a dreamlike quality to her surroundings. The sounds of the forest seemed to hush, replaced by a profound stillness that was both calming and strangely vibrant. Lira felt a sense of anticipation building within her, a quiet excitement at the prospect of reaching the Whispering Valley. Rounding a bend in the path, she saw it a narrow cleft in the mountainside, almost hidden behind a curtain of soft green moss. It seemed to beckon her forward, promising respite and tranquility. A palpable sense of peace emanated from the cleft, a silent invitation to enter a place set apart from the ordinary world. Lira took a deep breath, feeling the cool, misty air fill her lungs, carrying with it the scent of moss and stone. A gentle smile touched her lips as she stepped towards the moss-veiled entrance, ready to enter the Whispering Valley and discover the quiet songs held within its ancient stones. Chapter 2. The Valley Opens. With gentle hands, Lira pushed aside the curtain of soft moss, revealing the entrance to the Whispering Valley. Stepping through felt like crossing a threshold into another world. The air within was immediately different, stiller, softer, and carrying an almost palpable sense of peace. The world outside, with its gentle rustles and murmurs, seemed to fade into a distant memory. Before her, the valley opened up in a gentle curve, a bowl-shaped depression in the mountains, bathed in a diffused, pearlescent light. It was as if the sunlight itself had been filtered through a veil of mist, creating a soft, all-enveloping glow. There were no harsh shadows, only gentle gradations of light and shade, lending the landscape a serene and ethereal quality. The valley floor was a carpet of lush green moss, thick and springy beneath her feet. Each step felt cushioned and soft, as if walking on a cloud. Smooth gray stones, rounded and worn by time, were scattered across the moss like gentle accents in a tranquil garden. They absorbed the soft light, radiating a cool, calm energy. A clear stream meandered through the center of the valley, its course marked by a ribbon of sparkling water reflecting the diffused light above. The sound of the stream was a continuous gentle murmur, a liquid melody that seemed to weave through the very fabric of the valley. It was the dominant sound, yet it was so soft and constant that it blended seamlessly into the overall stillness. Lira walked slowly into the valley, her senses awakening to its subtle wonders. The air carried a faint, earthy aroma, the scent of damp moss and fertile soil. Mixed with this was a delicate, high-pitched chime, almost too faint to hear, yet undeniably present, the subtle resonance of quartz. She noticed then the pale, glimmering veins of quartz that laced through the gray stones, catching and refracting the soft light. She reached down and touched one of the quartz veins, the stone cool and smooth beneath her fingertips. It felt solid and ancient, yet strangely alive with a subtle vibration. Closing her eyes, she focused her attention on the stone, seeking to sense the rumored songs held within. At first, there was only stillness, a profound quietude that settled around and within her. Then, slowly, subtly, she began to perceive a faint melody, a whisper of sound resonating deep within the quartz. It was not a distinct tune, but rather fragments of melody, echoes of birdsong, soft and ethereal, like memories carried on the wind. They were faint, elusive yet undeniably present, weaving together to create a sense of deep, resonant peace. Opening her eyes, Lira looked around the valley with a renewed sense of wonder. The diffused light, the murmuring stream, the mossy floor, the glimmering quartz, everything seemed to contribute to this profound stillness, this quiet symphony of peace. She realized then that the valley itself was a sanctuary, a place designed to soothe and restore. She found a smooth, flat stone near the stream and sat down, allowing herself to simply be present in the valley. The gentle murmur of the water, the cool touch of the stone, the soft light on her skin, all senses were enveloped in a gentle calmness. She closed her eyes again, letting the valley's quietude wash over her, feeling a sense of deep peace settling within, like the slow settling of dust in still air. As dusk began to gently deepen the soft light, Lira felt a profound sense of belonging in this tranquil place. The Whispering Valley had opened itself to her, not just as a location but as an experience, a journey into the heart of quietude. She knew then that she was exactly where she needed to be, surrounded by the silent songs of the stones, ready to listen and learn. Chapter 3. Listening to the Stones. The diffused light of the Whispering Valley deepened into the soft hues of early evening. The air grew slightly cooler, carrying a hint of moisture and the subtle scent of night-blooming flowers, though Lira could not yet see them. The murmur of the stream seemed to soften even further, becoming an almost subconscious background hum, a constant lullaby woven into the stillness. Lira remained seated by the stream, feeling the cool, smooth stone beneath her. She continued to explore the quartz veins with her senses, moving from stone to stone, gently placing her hands on their surfaces. Each vein seemed to hold a slightly different resonance, a unique fragment of birdsong history. Some echoed with light, cheerful melodies, while others carried deeper, more contemplative tunes. As she listened, she noticed that the songs were not just sounds, but also carried subtle emotions, feelings of peace, joy, and quiet contentment. It was as if the quartz had absorbed not only the melodies of birdsong, but also the essence of the peaceful moments in which those songs had been sung, imbuing the very stones with tranquility. She found a larger quartz vein embedded in a mossy bank and settled herself comfortably against it. The cool stone was surprisingly grounding, providing a sense of solid connection to the earth. Closing her eyes, she focused all her attention on listening, seeking to delve deeper into the quartz memories. The faint melodies grew slightly clearer, more distinct. She could almost discern individual notes, trills and warbles of birds long gone. It was like listening to a very old, very quiet recording, full of gentle imperfections and subtle crackles, yet incredibly moving in its fragile beauty. She imagined the valley in times past, filled with the vibrant songs of countless birds. She pictured them perched on branches, soaring through the air, filling the valley with their melodies. And she understood that the quartz had somehow captured and preserved these moments of avian harmony, holding them in silent resonance for centuries. A sense of wonder filled her, a quiet awe at the natural magic of the valley. It was not a flashy or dramatic magic, but a subtle, gentle power of preservation and peace, woven into the very fabric of the stones. She realized that the valley was not just a place of stillness, but a living archive of tranquility, a library of peaceful sounds. She spent hours listening, the evening deepening into night, the diffused light slowly fading into a soft starlit darkness. The stars, though faint through the valley's mist, twinkled gently above like tiny sparks of light in a vast, quiet expanse. The air grew stiller, the valley enveloped in a profound, peaceful silence, broken only by the soft murmur of the stream and the faint songs within the quartz. As the night deepened, Lira began to feel a shift within herself. The quietude of the valley, the gentle resonance of the quartz, seemed to be seeping into her, calming her mind, soothing her spirit. The anxieties and tensions she had carried with her from the outside world began to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. A sense of deep peace settled within her, a feeling of being truly present, truly at rest. She realized that the valley was not just offering her the songs of birds, but also a pathway to her own inner harmony, a way to rediscover the quiet center within herself. As she drifted towards sleep, nestled against the mossy bank and the whispering quartz, she felt a profound sense of gratitude for this tranquil sanctuary. This valley, where stones remembered birdsong and peace resonated in the very air. Chapter 4. The Weaver of Songs. As Lira awoke, a gentle warmth permeated the valley. The diffused light of dawn was beginning to softly illuminate the mist, painting the landscape in hues of pale lavender and soft rose. The air was fresh and crisp, carrying a renewed vibrancy, a sense of quiet awakening. The murmur of the stream seemed to have gained a slightly brighter tone, a cheerful melody heralding the new day. Sitting up, Lira stretched, feeling the gentle ease in her muscles, a lingering sense of peaceful relaxation from the night. She noticed a faint scent in the air, delicate and floral, yet unfamiliar. Looking around, she saw tiny blossoms, white and star-shaped, newly opened amongst the moss and stones. They seemed to glow faintly in the soft dawn light, their fragrance delicate and sweet. As she observed the blossoms, a shimmering form began to coalesce near the stream, just beyond her. It was translucent and ethereal, woven from the mist and the soft dawn light, taking on a vaguely human shape, yet shifting and shimmering, never quite solid. A sense of gentle awe filled Lira as she realized this must be the valley's guardian, the Weaver of Songs. The shimmering form turned towards her, and a voice, soft as a whisper of wind chimes, resonated in the still air. "Welcome, seeker of peace," it said, the voice carrying a gentle warmth and a deep, ancient wisdom. "I am the Weaver, guardian of this valley and keeper of its songs." Lira bowed her head slightly in respect. "Weaver," she replied, her voice hushed in reverence, "it is an honor to meet you. I have come seeking the peace of this valley and to learn from the songs within the quartz." The Weaver shimmered gently, as if in acknowledgement. The quartz stones hold the memories of peace, the echoes of joy and tranquility that have resonated within this valley for ages. They are living libraries of stillness, whispering their songs to those who listen with an open heart. The Weaver gestured towards a small clearing nearby, where a collection of smooth stones formed a natural hearth. "Come, share warmth with me as the dawn awakens fully. We will speak of the songs and the stillness, and of the valley's way of healing." Lira followed the Weaver to the clearing. Even though there was no visible fire, a gentle warmth emanated from the stones, radiating a comforting heat. The Weaver gestured again, and two simple cups, carved from smooth wood, appeared as if from the mist itself, filled with a steaming herbal tea. The aroma was delicately floral and faintly spicy, incredibly soothing. They sat together in comfortable silence for a moment, sipping the warm tea. The Weaver then spoke again. "The valley teaches stillness, Lira. It teaches that true peace is not the absence of sound, but the ability to listen deeply, to hear the quiet songs within everything, even within silence itself." The Weaver explained that the quartz veins acted as resonators, absorbing and re-emitting the peaceful vibrations of the valley, particularly the bird song, but also the murmur of the stream, the sighing of the wind, the gentle stillness of the air. It was a continuous cycle of peace, a self-sustaining harmony that permeated every corner of the valley. The tea, Lira learned, was brewed from valley herbs that enhanced this natural harmony, further calming the mind. and opening the senses. The weaver taught Lira to listen not just to the sounds, but to the feelings embedded within the quartz, to perceive the emotions of peace and tranquility that resonated within the stones. They spent the morning in quiet conversation, sharing the warm tea and the peaceful stillness of the valley, Lira absorbing the gentle wisdom of the weaver and the resonant quietude of the ancient stones. Chapter 5. Returning Song. As the soft light of the afternoon bathed the whispering valley in a golden hue, Lira knew it was time to leave. The valley had shared its peace with her. Its quiet songs had resonated deep within her soul, and she felt a profound sense of renewal and calm. She approached the weaver, who stood shimmering near the murmuring stream, bathed in the gentle sunlight. "Weaver," Lira said, her voice filled with gratitude, "thank you. This valley, its stillness, its songs, you have given me a gift I will carry with me, always." The weaver shimmered gently, its voice soft as a sigh. "The valley gives freely, seeker of peace. It asks only that you carry its tranquility into the world, sharing its quiet songs with those who need them." The weaver then extended a shimmering hand, and in its palm lay a small piece of quartz, glowing faintly with an inner light. "Take this," the weaver said, "a fragment of the valley's heart. It holds the most soothing of the songs, a reminder of the peace you have found here. When the world feels too loud, too chaotic, listen to its quiet resonance and remember the stillness within." Lira accepted the quartz with reverence, feeling its cool smoothness and gentle vibration in her hand. "I will," she promised, "I will carry the valley's peace with me and share its songs in whatever way I can." They shared a moment of comfortable silence, a quiet exchange of gratitude and understanding. Then, with a gentle nod of farewell, Lira turned to leave the valley. As she walked towards the moss-veiled entrance, she paused, looking back at the tranquil sanctuary, bathed in the soft golden light. A deep sense of peace settled within her, a quiet joy at the beauty and serenity she had experienced. Stepping back through the mossy curtain, she emerged onto the path, the world outside seeming slightly brighter, slightly louder, yet also somehow different. She perceived it with a newfound sense of calm, a quiet centeredness that had been nurtured in the valley's stillness. The anxieties and tensions that had troubled her before seemed distant, softened by the valley's gentle magic. As she walked down the path, the setting sun cast long, soft shadows through the trees. The air was filled with the gentle sounds of the late afternoon, the rustling of leaves in a soft breeze, the distant call of a bird, the gentle murmur of the stream receding behind her. Everything seemed imbued with a quiet peacefulness, reflecting the tranquility she carried within. She held the piece of quartz in her hand, feeling its smooth coolness, its subtle vibration. Closing her eyes for a moment, she focused on its quiet resonance, and she could almost hear the faint echoes of birdsong, the whispers of peace from the whispering valley. She knew then that the valley's gift was not just a memory, but a living presence within her, a source of quiet strength and unwavering calm. As she continued her journey, Walking towards the horizon, bathed in the soft, golden light of late afternoon, Lira carried the whispering valley within her heart, ready to share its songs of peace with the world, one quiet moment at a time. The gentle murmur of the valley stream, the soft glow of the quartz, the whispered wisdom of the weaver all remained with her, a constant reminder of the profound peace she had found and the quiet strength she now possessed.